In the age of advanced science and technology, the planet Earth is becoming more ill through time to time. What makes our world that used to be beautiful and peaceful contaminated with various causes? We did a research about our world is slowly dying because of us, humans that careless to our surroundings. Without a proper awareness, the world will turn into ruins. Now we will state the solution for these issues. For the first issue is, we will elaborate on how to handle the use of fossil fuel excessively. And now for the second issue, we will explain on how to prevent the carbon footprint using the carbon handprint method. And for the last issue, we will discuss on how to reduce the excessive waste activities.
Nowadays, the term excessive fossil usage is no longer a strange word for us, especially living in the 21st century where fuel-powered transportation is a common thing. Fuel-powered transportation are considered one of the main contributors to the greenhouse effects since they emit carbon dioxide gas. According to Environmental Protection Agency of the United States, the burning of non-renewable energy such as gasoline, fuel, and many more emits one of the largest carbon dioxide, thus contributing to the greenhouse effects. Therefore, knowing how bad it is, we should prioritize the use of renewable energy like solar power and wind energy. They emit little to no emission at all. Now that we know how bad non-renewable energy is, we should try our best and avoid them and prioritize the use of renewable energy instead.
Next, a carbon footprint is the total CO2 and greenhouse gas emissions from human activities, including direct emissions from burning fossil fuels and indirect emissions from producing goods and services. The concept evolved from the ecological footprint, which measures the land required to sustain an activity, while the carbon footprint is typically measured in tons of CO2 or CO2 equivalent annually. While there's two types of footprints, primary footprint and also secondary footprint. Primary footprint emissions under direct control like transportation and household energy use. Secondary footprint emissions linked to consumption such as food production and manufacturing. For example, a bottle of water's carbon footprint includes emission from producing the bottle and transporting it to consumers. Lastly, individuals and companies can reduce footprints by increasing energy efficiency, using renewable energy, adjusting consumption habits, and using carbon offsets to neutralize emissions. After examining the origins, elements, and techniques for reducing the carbon footprint, we can now turn our attention to double actions that both individuals and companies may do to lessen their environmental impact. In the future, we will explore particular techniques and lifestyle modifications that can drastically lower primary and secondary carbon footprints, guaranteeing a more sustainable future.
Last but not least, we should avoid the usage of single-use plastic products such as plastic plates, plastic cups, plastic straws, and you name it, everything plastics. This is because plastic is a very hard to dispose materials and will later burn in the landfills, consequently releasing carbon dioxide and methane gas into the atmosphere. According to a study made by University of Colorado, the burning of single-use plastic products release methane gas. And did you know that methane gas is 80 times more potent than carbon dioxide gas? And if you don't know, now you know. Therefore, knowing how bad methane gas is on our atmosphere, we should prioritize the practice of 5R, which is reuse, refuse, recycle, reduce, and repurpose our plastic materials. Now, it is evident that methane gas is really bad on our environment, and we should practice the practice of 5R into our daily life in order to reduce the emission of methane and carbon dioxide gas.
As you guys have seen the problems stated by our presenters, to close the topic, let me remind you
This time we know that non-renewable energy is bad for our environment. Hence, we should lessen the usage and start to reduce the greenhouse effects. Next, we must reduce the carbon footprint as it damages the atmosphere, leading to global warming. Finally, as we all know that plastic is hard to dispose and has effect when disposing of them. Therefore, to cope with the problem, we should practice the 5R as stated in the point 3. To simply put, these are the main points that we as an intellectual being should raise our awareness on improving them, so we could prevent the unpredictable outcome. You see, when the God gives you something, you must cherish with all care and kindness to put into it, to show appreciation towards Him. In other words, it is better to be sorry than remorse. Now tell yourself, do you mind or you do not? Alright, that is all from us. Thank you for listening to our presentation. Bye.